By beating the odds, Sena is writing a new chapter for girls in Peru. Girls need good schools, and they need to stay. Because a girl with one extra year of education can earn 20% more as an adult. Because women operate the majority of farms and small businesses in the developing world. If India alone enrolled 1% more of its girls in secondary school, our GDP would rise by billions. Educated girls are a powerful force for change. And this kind of change, it happens fast.
You're probably wondering, is that an ad for some charity? But I actually have a normal life for a teenage girl. I get up, I brush my teeth, I listen to Rihanna, I pick my outfits, I chat with my friends. Welcome to my world. This is Freetown, Sierra Leone. This is my mom, Salamatu, and this was my dad. My dad died when I was really little. I like to think he still watches over me. This is my dad's younger brother. He had to marry my mom because she was his brother's widow. She could have said no, or she could have become a praying wife, which is sort of like being a wife without the fun. But then my uncle was really quite handsome, so he became my stepdad. A few years later, Papa married Hawa. Now that was a love match from the start. I guess you could call us a perfect family, and it's true. Isn't my school cool? I'm the first person in my family to go to school. Everyone says I'm the lucky one. This is our physics teacher, Mr. Ellie. He told us about Isaac Newton, the biggest problem solver of all time. Lots of people think science is boring, but I don't. Science is about asking questions and solving problems, just like Isaac Newton. The most exciting change in my life was when I got my first real job. I was so happy when I landed a spot as a host at Eagle Africa 91.3 FM. These days, radio is the biggest thing in Sierra Leone. Almost everyone listens to it. On the radio show, I'm able to talk to lots of girls all over the country and help them. Every week we discuss a problem. I don't mean a physics problem, I mean the real stuff. One time, a girl named Isatu called in. She lived with her aunt who used her to run errands instead of letting her go to school. Even worse, her aunt's boyfriend had a really bad wandering hand problem. Poor Isatu didn't know what to do, so she called the show. I thought about what I would do. I told her to tell her mom everything, to not be afraid. She wasn't doing anything wrong and that she should be going to school. A few weeks later, she called to say she was back at home, living with her mom and going to school. She said I helped her solve her problem. When I'm older, my plan is to have my own TV show solving the greatest mysteries in the world. Welcome to Dr. Mariama's Miracle Mystery Show, in which I, Mariama, find solutions to the planet's most vexing problem, filmed here in Freetown in front of a live studio audience. My big dream is to go to outer space, to be the first African in space. But the truth is, I've never been on an airplane. Actually, I've never even been to another country. But I'm not afraid to dream big. While I was busy dreaming, Papa was having some problems of his own. He was being criticized by other people in my town about me hosting a radio show and staying out at night with my friends from the radio station. One night when I was out, he found out where I was and stormed in. I've never seen him so angry. Papa refused to let me host the show. I tried to talk my way out of it, which is something I can almost always do. That night, I didn't sleep. I told you my parents never went to school, right? Well, what I didn't tell you was what Hawa told me, that people in those days thought kids who went to school lost respect for their parents. I worried that maybe my father thought I had lost respect for him by having a job at the radio station. For the first time, I had a problem I couldn't solve. I thought, what would Isaac Newton do? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Newton's third law. I needed to find a force equal to my father. Someone my father would listen to. Maybe Hawa could be my force? So I borrowed a radio and tuned it to Eagle 91.3 FM. I hated to hear the show going on without me. Hawa really listened. She liked what she heard. She told Papa that he might have made a mistake. He agreed to hear me out. I told them all the good things the radio show was doing, like the way I was able to help Isatu go back to her mother. By being on the radio, I could help even more girls like Isatu. Hawa said I should have another chance. Finally, Papa agreed to let me carry on with the show, only if I promised to come straight home afterwards and always let him or my mums know where I was. I was back on the air. Now everything is cool again. So you out there, watch this space, because one day you're going to see Dr. Mariama's Miracle Mystery Show. Now there's nothing to stop me. Nothing in the world. Nothing in the universe. Because I am the lucky one.
Because I am the lucky one.
Girls are not the problem. They're problem solvers. You want to slow the spread of AIDS? Educate a girl. You want to grow the global economy? Educate a girl. So what exactly changes when the 600 million girls in the developing world get a good education? Everything.
If my husband heard these words, he might kill me. So might my father, or my brother, or any of thousands of my countrymen. Killed because I want to learn, because I want to read, for uttering my own truth, because I am a girl. Now that I'm no longer a child, I cannot show you my face. I must wear the shroud of blue, a shell. I am a girl, masked and muted. So what can you truly know of me? But I will speak. I will not be silenced. My story is like thousands of others, crores. No one bothered to record my birthday. As a girl, I was considered unworthy. I am told my mother burst into tears when she was told it was a girl. She set me aside in the dirt. She already had one son, but wanted another. Wanted the status of being a bearer of boys. My mother never went to school. She has never opened a book, never written in a diary, can't even read the scribbles on a bag of rice. From the age of 3 years old, I spent my days working. My hands and face were chapped from carrying icy mountain water to wash men's hands. I woke up before dawn, cleaned the house, washed the clothes, the dishes, carried my brothers and sisters on my back until they were old enough to walk. I learned early to serve. I learned early that this is the way things were always meant to be for the women of my family. A life of servitude. My happiest times were the few years of my education, the few years I went to school. I learned to read and write on an old blackboard fixed to a crumbling stone wall. Girls in other parts of my country, where the Taliban were in tight control, weren't allowed to go to school at all, weren't allowed to step outside their homes. So I was always aware of my privilege. I was 11 years old when my father arranged for me to be married. My mind was of little value, but my body could settle a dispute, pay a debt. My body can be sold for men's pleasure or profit. Who cares that I have been married against my will for 50,000 rupees? For that price, my father offered me in marriage to a cousin. My empty-eyed mother approved the match. The luckiest person in all of this was my brother. How? My parents spent the money to buy him a used car. I am an Afghan woman, and I know from history that it hasn't always been this way. On my wedding day, I try to think about all the many strong Afghan women before me. I've heard about Malailai, Rabia Balkhi, Zarguna Ana, women who lived 100 years ago, women who could read and write. They spoke their own minds, and they were heroes for my country. But now, I am imprisoned in marriage, only allowed outside in this cover. There is no opening for my mouth to talk. My eyes are hidden behind this embroidered cage. First night of my marriage, my husband barely spoke, and the seed he planted in me was not only the desire of the son he always wanted, but also the anger that has grown in me ever since. I vowed that night that I would find a way not only to endure, but to prevail. The midwife who delivered my baby without complication said I was a lucky girl. More women die giving birth in Afghanistan than in any other place in the world. As I suckled his innocence at my breast, cupped his tiny feet in my hands, all I felt was impatience. Impatience because we are poor, because we are silenced, disenfranchised, beaten, cut, married as children, sold, raped. When we seek freedom, we are burned. When we speak the truth, we are stoned. When we go to school, we are gunned down, poisoned, shot. Oh, don't tell me it has always been this way. I don't believe in your resignation. I refused ignorance long ago. Don't tell me you're on my side. Your silence has already spoken for you. Don't tell me the blame lies in my religion, in my culture, or my traditions. I have not forgotten my promise. Change is coming. I will read, I will learn, I will study, I will return to school. I dare you to tell me it's a waste of time. If you try to stop me, I will just try harder. If you bury me in the ground, I will climb out. If you kill me, there will be other girls who will rise up and take my place. I will find a way to endure, to prevail, because the future of man lies in me. And this is the future I see. I am the beginning of a different story in Afghanistan. And when my granddaughter explains how I withstood the odds against me, it will become legend. Oh yes, perhaps it will only be whispered at first, but just you watch. It will grow into a roar, an inexhaustible voice that will usher in a brighter future. Do you doubt me? Do you underestimate my will? Look into my eyes. I am change.
Amina joins millions of girls in Afghanistan who have returned to school in spite of the dangers. Thanks to a new generation of leaders, men and women, there are more girls in school in Afghanistan now than at any time in its history. Because she refused to give up. Just like Suma and like Wadley. Like Sena and Azmera. Like girls everywhere. There are more stories. There are more facts and figures. But the simplest is the most important. Educating girls works.
If we try, we can fill the gap between what girls have
And what girls need. If they see what you have just seen in these stories, they will be inspired.
And we will see girls with attitude, with fortitude, with courage, with spunk,
spirit,
and drive,
girls succeeding against all odds.
and achieving greatness.
So what can you do?
As an individual,
you have enormous power.
change can spread like wildfire when minds are moved to make a difference.
Right now, help the next generation of women in India.
Grow up to be strong and sure and aware of their rights.
25% of girls will drop out before they reach class 5. Another 40% will never even make it to class 10.
Let's give flight to her hopes and dreams.
To send a powerful message that you strongly believe, that we all strongly believe.
Our girls are worth the investment.
Please join us. Log on to
.girlrising.in.
Just one girl with courage is a revolution. Girl Rising.